Introduction part 2. Still eating my cookie. So getting away from creature comforts. You can take this to various extremes. It really depends on you. You take it to the extreme that's just beyond what you're sure or what you think you can actually achieve. The most extreme example is what I've heard one of the training for the Czech Special Forces is they are on their own for what, 5 days to a week or something like that, and they have a destination. They have to get from here to here. I'm sure it's some extreme distance, and they cannot allow a single person to see them going from A to B for that whole 5, 10, 14 days, I don't know. Which means they have to carry all of their food and water and supplies with them. And in the Czech Republic, it's very difficult to avoid human contact. You go up to the top of any hill, any tree, and you see the ring of villages out around you. Walking in any part of the country, every 10, 15, maximum 20 kilometers, you're going to hit a village. And there's always people walking around. So that's extreme. They have to hide in the forest, they have to travel at night. That's the most extreme. I know I can't do that, so I don't try. My plan was primarily to be walking, to be on foot, and to be sleeping outside. Now mind you, this is the middle of October. Winter is about to hit. The temperature hovers around freezing during the day, during the night. So that's extreme. And that's an area where I decided to keep out of my comfort zone, where I didn't try to push myself. I didn't try to carry all my food and water with me as I have other times. And I conceded that each afternoon I would have at least one meal in one of the pubs or restaurants in the villages along the way. Just a chance to thaw for a little bit, to have some warm food. And that's kind of a health aid as well. But beyond that, the idea, the rules, which are very abstract, is to stay outside of my comfort zone and to see how long I can really endure that. And also if I can endure the walking. It would be about 30, 35 kilometers a day. That's not easy. That's not easy at all, especially considering that at this point there's only about 11, maximum 12 hours of daylight. So there you have it. That's ExTrav. That's the trip that you are about to see. I tried to document everything significant that happened. Of course I couldn't, but I tried to. I kept you in mind the whole time for you to try to experience, not experience, but to take part in this somehow. You can't experience something like this unless you're there. The whole idea of ExTrav is that it takes you to a breaking point. And I have never been on a trip that I would classify as ExTrav that failed to take me to a breaking point. And this trip was no exception. By the way, I'm filming this introduction after the fact, so I know what happens. I'm not going to try to give you any hints, but there is definitely a breaking point by a certain definition. There is no doubt. And I think that it will be perhaps not entertaining, but it will be very interesting for you to watch these developments. What this trip does to me, it's not what you'd expect. This is not, in the end, a la-di-da walking tour. This was about endurance, about mental and physical strength, about me pushing myself as hard as I could. And you're going to see that, and you're going to see what happens. One thing I can guarantee, as I try to guarantee with all of my stories that I send you, my friends, that this story will not end how you expect. At least, I hope that this ending is not what you are expecting now. I hope that's not what you would expect. A couple things that I need to say about the equipment that I used, that I need to apologize for. I intended to use this camera, but because of the cold, because of bad recharging, because I guess the filming function on my camera just drains batteries very quickly, I wasn't able to use the film possibility for everything. So I used my voice recorder, my MP3 voice recorder, which would have been okay, except that the quality of the recording is very, very bad. So I'm going to try to put subtitles on it and hopefully add some of my photographs from the trip onto the recording so you have something to look at while you're just listening to my voice. Also, the camera, of course, often has a problem with focusing. Sometimes, if it's quiet, otherwise you'll hear some clicking as it's trying to focus in and out. I apologize for all of this. Yeah, but, you know, in the end, that just, I think, adds to the fact that this is not intended, even though, you know, I was thinking about my audience often, and even though this is in, I don't know, 20, 25 episodes of a few minutes each, this is not a reality show. Because if it was, I would have better equipment. And it would seem less realistic. But in fact, this is not a reality show, it is reality. Reality in a very stark way. I hope that will come through. And I hope that something of what I'm thinking and feeling and experiencing will come through to you, because it was very affecting for me, this trip. And I hope that will show through even the technical difficulties. So, I hope you enjoy it. There are some fun moments. There are some tough moments as well. You Czechs out there, you'll get a special treat to be able to laugh uproariously when you hear me trying to speak Czech with people. I look back at some of the videos, and you know I speak better than that. I'm sorry, it's pathetic. You'll all see me having incredible, ridiculous trouble with the names of the Czech villages and towns. For having lived here over 3 years, you'd think I'd be able to pronounce some of these things, or at least remember them, but nope. That's okay. It's reality. That's who I am. Enjoy it. At any point, I hope I'll be able to churn these out fairly regularly over the next few weeks so that you can get to the end of the story. And there are some points that I actually ask for you to send me your opinion and ask you some questions about what you've seen so far. But at any point, I would love, absolutely love, to hear from any of you by email about what you think of what you've seen so far, what your reactions are, if you're enjoying it, what comments you have, if you have similar experiences, if you think I'm absolutely nuts, any of this. All of you who are watching should have my email address already, so let me know. I'm really, really curious what you think about this. I'm still processing it myself. I'm really curious what you think. So, enjoy the ride. I hope it's fun for you. Alright everyone, take care.